Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Bookmas. So I'm not sure what day this is going to go on, but I am in like the Dallas, Texas area for school, and I had a little bit of free time and was just going to meander and was just kind of like working my way up towards like where my campus is. And so I decided to just kind of stop into a Barnes & Noble on the way up. Buying anything because I don't have any room in my suitcase. But before I left, I was telling my boyfriend that I kind of wanted to kind of stop at a few Barnes while I was like here, because we are looking at moving into this kind of area. And do I judge different areas by the Barnes? Yes, I do, because where we live now, we have a couple different Barnes, and there's definitely like ones that I prefer and ones that aren't very great. But I was telling him that, and I said, I think this might be the best way for me to go book shopping, because then I can't like buy books that I don't need, because I can't buy any books at all. But I thought it'd be fun to kind of just take a peek at a different Barnes and see what they have, and just kind of see if there's any books that catch my attention that I could maybe put on my TBR for next year. Warm here too. It's December 11th, but it's like 60 degrees here, so I'm definitely very warm in my jacket, but this was really nice on the plane. So I'm just gonna suffer for a little bit because I only have a like little t-shirt on underneath. But let's just head in and go book shopping. Hey guys, so I am at my hotel now. I wasn't at Barnes for very long. The Barnes that I went to, it was decently busy in there, and the setup of it was very odd. I don't know if I liked it or not. I feel like a lot of it was just not organized the way I'm used to. It had 2 floors, and like the whole first floor was like not at all books that I cared about. Like history books and cookbooks and just kind of a bunch of nonfiction was downstairs, as well as like the middle section had a bunch of like new releases. And then when you went upstairs, it like spit you out with like the games and toys. And then one half of the upstairs was like all the books I actually cared about, like the adult sci-fi, romance, young adult was all like upstairs. And I feel like the YA section was very small compared to other Barnes, which like it was just like one little like U of YA books. But there's a few books that I saw that kind of caught my eye, and most of them were like right as soon as I went upstairs, there was like a table of like, I think it was kind of a combination of like YA and adult sci-fi, and so those ones definitely caught my eye. There was one that I'd never heard of, but they only had the second book of it. Ben Alderson, who I've never heard of, but they only had, like I said, they had the second and the third book on the table, and the covers were really pretty. And I didn't really read the back of it because I wanted to find the first book to see if I could like see what the series was about, because I didn't want to, like, I turned it to the side and it had like a 2 on one of them and then a 3 on the other one. And I didn't want to read the back of them in case it like spoiled something. But it was the like Realm of the Fae or something like that was the series. But like I said, they only had the second and third one. Alright, so I found it on their website. The first book is A Betrayal of Storms. And like the little overview says that it's political intrigue and high heat of a court of thorns and roses and from blood and ash. So it seems like it's kind of similar to those. Like I said, I'd never heard of it before, but it was on one of the little end tables and it looked kind of interesting. So I don't know, I want to look into more fantasy series next year because I feel like I'm going to have more time for fantasy books, and lately I've been in a fantasy mood. But I also know that I want to spend a good amount of next year trying to start like some adult fantasy and sci-fi series because, I don't know, I feel like I've read a ton of YA ones and I'm interested to see like how I like adult fantasy books in comparison. Yeah, that's kind of what I was primarily looking at. I looked at a few of the like special editions and there were some really pretty ones, and then I looked at romance section just briefly because I'm not as interested in romance usually. I want to do like a full like 25 books I want to read in 2025, either as like my last video of the year or my first video of next year. Yeah, I don't know, I didn't stay there very long because that Barnes was like, it wasn't very far, I think it was like 15 minutes from the airport, but by the time I got my rental car and got to Barnes, it was already like 11:45, which in my brain I was thinking that would be too early to go get lunch because I would have gotten to Portillo's where I wanted to get lunch at like 11:50, and I was like, well, that's gonna be a little bit early and checking for the hotel isn't until 3, so I'd be getting here at 2. And then I got to Barnes, and when I started looking around I was like, I'm getting really hungry, so I ended up just kind of peeking around fairly quickly and then kind of got out of there because then Portillo's was like a 20-minute drive because the Barnes was like a tiny bit out of the way. But yeah, so then I ended up getting up to my hotel. There ended up being like some road work, and I feel like I killed just enough time at Barnes. Like I said, I think I was there for maybe 30 minutes, but I ended up getting here at like 2:45, so it was kind of perfect timing. I just kind of hung out in my car for the last couple minutes. The main section of that Barnes that intrigued me was there's 2 doors in it, one to like the parking lot that I parked in, and the backside was like a little like mall, but it was like an outdoor mall, so it was all just a bunch of like sidewalks that went to different like restaurants and different things. But when I came back in from that back door, because I was just kind of peeking at what was nearby, there was like a whole wall of special editions, and there were some really nice ones back there that I think would be fun to have. But I'm really picky about my special editions. Some of them I'm not. Like if it's a book I know that I just absolutely love and I just want a second edition of it, I'm less picky. But I don't like when like sprayed edges are just a solid color. So I like when if it has a sprayed edge, I need it to have like a design on it. And there's a version of The Hurricane Wars, which is a book that's been on my TBR for a while, that was just really pretty. And it's got like the moon phases along the side and the sprayed edges. So yeah, that's one that seems more interesting to me. But that's gonna be it for today's video. I know it was a short one, but I still had a fun time. I'm probably going to, when I'm done in Texas, I fly to Iowa. I might do another little like Barnes snooping while I'm there, but that Barnes is really small because it's just like connected to our mall, and it's been there since like the 90s, and I don't think they've redone it since. I think they added a Starbucks in and that's it, which means they just took away space from where books were. So I don't know, moving to a bigger city was fantastic because I went from having such a small Barnes growing up to one of my favorite ones is like a full 2-story, like giant Barnes, and there's like 6 different ones all within like 20 minutes from where I live. Yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and let me know if there's like any certain book series that you guys are looking forward to in 2025, because I don't know, I feel like I have a fair number of them, but I'm always open for more recommendations, and I kind of want to know like what's everyone else wanting to read. And yeah, I just want to know some more suggestions, or also like if there's any like adult sci-fi, not sci-fi, adult fantasy or romantasy books that you recommend for someone who hasn't really like a first step into adult fantasy. Let me know, because I don't really like, there's so many options and so many books that sound interesting, but some of them are really thick books, so they're intimidating, and I'm not sure like if it's not going to be that great of a book, do I want to commit to that large of a series? But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys back again tomorrow for the next day of Bookmas. I'm not sure what I'm doing tomorrow. I think tomorrow's going to be my reading like holiday novellas, so that'll be a fun one. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for that video.